Are there resources online delivering support overall is the structure flow well, and then giving any other feedback that may arise. So when I click into it, first thing I notice it says start here. So week 1, week 2, week 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 8 are clearly out. Question I might have is why there's an overlap between 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4 and so on. We'll go through and see what's happening. So start 1, course 1 has an objective, and then the objective there's a file. So the goal of learning is a compelling concept, leverages technology, fosters authentic learning, having students take ownership of the pace, path, time, and even location of their learning. Many school districts are moving forward with the implementation. Therefore, NIHID has decided to create a multifaceted, human-led, and immersive course for the team as we transition to blended learning. So the objective of this is that learners will dive deeper into the intersections of blended learning, uncover CSLE and growth mindsets, organizational change and digital applications, and explore content that will allow them to differentiate learning and application of blended learning for their respective team. Quick feedback I would give is I assume that a person that is in this course might have a better understanding of COVA or CSLE would be, but since it's the first time theoretically that they're seeing it, it may be more useful to write it out into COVA in parentheses, just to introduce the terminology. Going back to week 1, week 2. So course design and structure is again given. Again, we have the abbreviation. So self-differentiated leaders. Cool. There's a spot missing here. Click through that. Another false indention or unnecessary space here should be deleted. Another unnecessary one here. So modules are designed for 2 weeks at a time. Explains the 1 to 2. So learners would have, readings, discussions, assignments at their pace, managing of time. There will be 3 in-person touch points. There's an orientation, which is an in-person meeting that will be recorded. Midterm will be another in-person meeting, and closing ceremony will also be the other. Visually, these 3 need to be further indented because those are the 3 in-person touch points. Course communications and updates. There's some font changes happening here, which is visually confusing, so be more careful about that. These all have different fonts, so these 2 are similar. This is larger, this is a really different font. So it's not a great approach. Accountability and tracking purposes, assignments will be submitted, and all attempted assignments will receive 100. Each file will have a defined section, so there will be required readings and videos, discussions, alignment, assignments, assignment criteria, and examples. So a quick question without having looked at the rest. The required readings versus the videos are both necessary for the learners to understand it, or is it one where someone can choose the required readings, someone can choose the videos instead of getting the same information? Go back to the overview. Week 2. Foundational knowledge. What is some background? Wait, did I go through all this? I did not. Okay. 3-column table. So big career audacious goal. Leaders will become self-differentiated. So we'll align activities with assessments. So week 1 has this module, learning activities with video, 2 videos, and a reading, and then the assessment activities. Again, for differentiation, is it necessary to see all 3 of these? or go through all 4 of these to get this information? Is it the case that this is redundant with this, video is redundant with this, is redundant with this? For differentiation, I believe I've seen that it should be one or the other, not necessarily all 4. It's just something, again, to think about. But for blended learning, I could see how videos and reading would need to complement would need to both be necessary? Question mark? Just a question. And then for the assessments, they will reflect, and there's a Nearpod activity that goes with it. Learner learning characteristics group discussion. Is this group discussion to be held in person? Will be facilitated through some kind of board? Let's continue to scroll through to see. Week 2, similar concepts. Here we have what the module will be around. Explain the factors that drive transformative change and create their personal lives. The reading, one thing visually that may help is over here, the video title was bolded. I would almost rather bold the watch video statement like this one and bold the read so learners know what they're looking for. But they would read through these chapters in this book. There's videos on here, continue to emphasize that this is a video, that this is a separate video, and this is a third video. Is it that all 3 videos again are required, or do I only need to look through 1 or 2? Do I get to choose my own adventure in these spaces? It's kind of unclear from this table. Think for a share Nearpod activity and discussion why statement. Again, is the discussion happening in Nearpod? Is the discussion happening in a different venue or different technology? Mindsets, more of the same, reading, things to read. Group share ups during meetings, so I assume that there's a meeting that goes through this one. And then other assignments to create this statement and be ready to share it with the group. Week 5 through 6, digital media. Learners will explore various applications and digital platforms to enhance their delivery of learning. Again, be careful with what's being bolded consistently versus what's not being bolded. This one is all reading up here, so I guess there were no videos that are correlated with this week. Be cautious of spelling errors. Observe educators that are practicing. Connection. So, what am I by bolding? This objective is not bolded. Is bolded, rather. Here, the objective is not bolded. Be consistent. Reading, more things to read. I can open this link from here. I cannot open this link from here because Google decides to do too much. Open link, there we go. Right click, open link. Accomplishes that. Here's the article, or here's at least a link to the journal. Let me see, does it specify? It does not. Okay, so be careful with this one. It states where it's retrieved from, and maybe when we get there, the article will already be there. But it also may be more beneficial to include the actual link to the actual article from here. So we're looking at the 2020 episode, 2020, sorry, here, and it doesn't specify which volume, so I can't dig into it any further from this page. But again, when we get to week 7, week 8, we'll check to see if the actual article is posted. Let me see what's happening with this link. Phase 1. Okay, so this one does give a link to the actual report and the things that are used here. And then the video, watch innovation that sticks. Yes, it doesn't say stink. Okay, cool. That works. There we go. At least the 3 links that I did. There's a reflection video that I assume the letters will submit. And go from there. So I'm going to check a few more links, but one might be a fight, advance, continue, and stop found. So that one needs to be checked. Next stratum, as Utopia, interesting. Might say this info later. Good versus 9, and I think it's simply because there's a T missing at the end. Yes. So that's a quick fix, but it needs to be fixed. Mine is like a portion, so if it doesn't work if it is not open. And then it's in class. If you turn think here as well. This is the 4 principles of education. I would actually get rid of space here, just so that it's easier to connect what things are saying. I mean, it was separated because there's space here, and then we will try to keep all of this together. So that's what that has that. I think most of the YouTube videos are really successfully change behaviors. So videos work, the journal articles, even though they're hit and miss, this one doesn't work at all. This one, the T needs to be added back to the loop to properly work. I think everything else is fine. So that's the 3-column table, and this is where all the outcomes of activities in the assessments can be summarized. The last document in here is in this folder is course access, which it is asking me to seek access. So the edit for the link for sharing needs to be adjusted so that it allows anyone with a link to access, and not just those that already have access. Also, another way might be to download it as a Word document and embed it, because I guess since it's Google Docs, it's still asking for that link. Downloading it as a Word document or as a separate file and then embedding the file into Schoology might work significantly better. Okay, so that's all of the objective. So that's the objective, divided with the course intro and documents. Now let's include the foundational knowledge. Going to the password. So essential resources, again, these are the things that we've seen. Again, seeking consistency. So watch video should be bolded. The rest of this does not need to be. And the link should be in line with this. Same for here, in line with that, because as you see for the reading, it has here the title and then all of here. Let's see if in the next folder it has the access for these, but this is all that I'm provided here. Next is a discussion board. So this is where they'll be giving the questions for discussion. So explore the following. Why is this course essential as we transition? What excites you? Why has this changed the important? How does yes prep embrace it? Yeah. Right. Quick feedback on this is this is a good format, and definitely the discussions is powerful. If you want to see like one place where you can find all of the feedback, this is a good way to do it. If you want feedback on the individual questions and you want the people that are looking at it to also have the space for individual questions, then it may be more beneficial to break these up into 5 individual discussion posts. But again, depends on your purpose, depends on how you want to see it. If it's just a quick checkout, then I think this is a really strong way to do so that you're seeing everyone's answer at once. If it's something that you want to lead into another discussion, it may be more beneficial to break it down. So those are week 1 folders. Let's look at week 2. So module 1 is week 2, week 3. These are 2 weeks. I don't know if this should be week 3, week 4 versus, or if you do need to overlap at week 2. Objective. So same objective we saw before. Again, this is the first time that we're seeing COVA and CSLE written down. So technically not the first time, but still be more beneficial to write out what COVA and CSLE stand for, just so you can ensure that everybody knows what those acronyms means. Required readings, cool, they're posted in one place. But there are a few different links. So, is it any more difficult to go into here and create separate links for the readings, question mark, just so it's easier to acquire? Or some people may prefer to have it this way as well. So let's do a quick check of the links to see if they work. If I left click this, it takes me to repository.me. It shows here, and I can open the link pretty easily. Maybe for private study or research purposes. Because this is a separate file, it might also be easier for the user, although I don't know how easy it would be for the planner to just actually go ahead and download this file yourself, and then rather than uploading the link, upload the file into here. So include the file in the required reading section. Cookies. Coding theories, remove all the links. That looks cool. Then there's a slide deck that goes with this. I like this one. This is fun. Let's see. Of the things that go on with that. Cool. Connectivism. Okay, so this one directly takes you to the PDF. Makes it easier. Authentic learning. Can direct to article. Ooh, previews. This is also a very busy article because I think it's providing summary. So, what would you want readers to get out of this? Do you want them to go through the video? I assume because there's a video here. Then there are multiples of links. Are they expected to go through every single link? Or is it just like click around to 3, 4? Maybe that seemed interesting to you. So when this is rolled out, I would try to make sure that there is clear criteria or instructions on how to access this one in particular. Defining authentic planning, that looks like authentic planning. So videos going through and this is more straightforward, easily definable. And then another PDF that can be downloaded into a public version. That's fine. So you can choose a link. It does require upskill host for accessing this from the university, but internet is should actually cool. Yesprep also does have a access for upskill host, I believe. This Yesprep logo is not often. But guides open its authentic training. And so that's accessible, but again, this one, as well as the first one, may be easier to download the files yourself and then upload them instead of uploading the links. So these are required readings. Then for the videos, just quickly checking to see if all of these work. But again, asking is it necessary to access both the readings and the videos, or are we seeking differentiated learning, in which one or the other should suffice. And YouTube refused to connect. Let's see if it connects externally. Yes. It's actually did that for us. So then when the links are created, it's necessary to turn off the link for it to open inside of Schoology, so that it directly opens to external, since the videos don't work inside. Let's see if I can get there faster. Right click, open the new tab. Now it's still going to open the Schoology. And then the roster. Now I know what the listings are. I don't spell it. Okay, I can watch that later. Okay, so the video links need to be changed so that it automatically opens externally instead of opening it into here, because then it just looks like it's broken, and depending on people's level of technology, they may think, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work in school. Reflections on, so that this is just an overall summary, then this is a great way to do it. You can also play it in to answer any following questions here. And this allows other students, other learners rather, to see what others are seeing. There's different options that allow just the instructor to see. And then a follow-up check for understanding, which is not currently active. So I can look at what that looks like. Yeah. So that's week 1, or module 1, for weeks 2 to 3, or weeks 3 to 4. Sure. Module 2, learning and organizational change. So the objective, factors of the traditional improve the personalized. I think because you're saying why statement, you don't need a question for us. The personalized statements video to steer influence. So criterion example, here we go. So in this assignment, they're creating the why statement experiment. Why connects to this video, the how process, and the results. Space between here. The result, what do you do? The result of why is the proof. And there's an example of a video attached. And this one is in fact embedded. As a result of going so that video works. So it's worked backwards, so that's the criteria and example. This is where students, I believe, will be submitting their why, which help to see the so it doesn't specify the building that they're going to use here. So then maybe something to add into here, and again, it may be included somewhere else, but this is meant to be a one-stop page for everyone to find all the things that they need. I would also include somewhere on here which program the intent of them to use. So, consistent with the discussion questions, I like consistency. Required readings, again, consider separating them here. How will people access this one? If it just says, so the preface I assume is in the textbook, but this one, where did this exist? Let me see if I can search. Right click, search the web. Okay, so it's a book. Gotcha. I understand. have achievement light. So this is the textbook that I assume learners will have access to or already have access to. And the links, there's an article to react to, and there's nothing associated with this. So broken link in module 2. Then things on leadership. And then let's go back to videos. Required videos, this time is included here. Since it's a document that opens here, you may just want to copy this, and drop it in here. So there's one less. The more people have to click, the longer it takes to get back into it anyway.
You might have seen videos like this before.
Rate of change.
There's a pattern to change.
And then start with UI. So all the video links work, and these links open directly into a new tab. So there's a lot less clicking, no fear of, oh no, this link doesn't work. So, like this one. Cool. Let's go on to module number 3. So again, starting with the end insight, looking at the objective, which says to learners will connect growth versus fixed mindsets to establish educational philosophies and identify which philosophy or philosophies they lead with through a presentation of learning project. That's easier to convince. Required readings. It'd be nice if I can click this and directly click the links from here. Again, why it's easier to drop links into this space directly instead of into a separate file. So we have, I think this is a list of these links, and I know why it looks like this. I believe it looks like this because it was created as a post. So the words are here, and then when the links were added, it automatically added it to the end. From my perspective, it almost looks like there's 7 things to do here, or what it comes off as looking is that there are 7 things to read here, rather than just 4. And also there's no link included per person. So this fixed versus growth mindset links to here, the mindset links to here, and 4 steps to change your mindset links to here. Where is the link for the first one, or is this a book that students again already have access, or learners already have access to? So solution would be to go to the larger folder and just add these links directly into them. And then if there's a textbook reading where it's not possible to post like that, maybe have a separate file for that says textbook reading here. Fixed versus growth, checking links, opens externally into a nice page, colors. The mindsets, again, opens externally, quick-ish read. I read slowly, so nothing's really quick read. 4 steps to change your fixed mindsets, with lots of links. Table context, it's similar. So that's the required readings. I'm going to go all the way back up to here. Videos, 2 video links. This is what I mean by, open externally again. But this is what I mean by just by clicking on here, accessibility. So because these 2 are embedded right here, I don't have to navigate off the first page, less clicking. Versus this one where I have to click into here and then into a separate page and link from there. So the less clicks that are required, the easier it is for things to be accessed. And the link works is just, you can embed into videos into Schoology. So discussion, again, consistent with the other ones. Model questions, how can we develop the growth mindset? How can we model the power of the yet theory? For the power of yet, I put those in quotations just because I forgot to put it. It's the name of the theory. The same thing, So the objective being embedded here so that like the famous I can see it. And prior to reading the videos, you can see that even from the first page, it would be easier to access these rather than having to click into them. Presentation of learning is to be an assignment. You will create a presentation. Presentation could be the slideshow, portfolio, or this. If I click on here, it allows me to upload, or I can upload a file or a video recording. My camera is blocked right now. I'm going to click allow, otherwise I want to do it later. That's cool. I can create something in here and then upload resources and sections of it. That's cool. So can I upload the links? Where's uploading the links? Okay, so I can upload links from there. Create a table. Into one thing I'm curious of is can I go record? So it's recording audio. No links to code. Create into Haida. And can I also then include a link? That or a broker that we just haven't done yet. Okay, here's refresh. So cleared up everything that I did. So now go out when you're not recording, let's see if it's going to do something different. So how many different things can people upload as part of an assignment? And then again, there's criteria for success. I like how these are clearly bullet pointed from the beginning. Much easier to view for you. Part two, with when I'm actually looking to read. And the guy specifically says that. Another presentation. So here's an example of how to create an actual quick page. And did a read. So cool. Next video. Seems to me that let me go back to see again if this specifies which format. I feel like it did at some point. It says you can submit a Google slide or submit a URL to either Google Slide or to your portfolio. So that means that it should be in that format. So then if that is there, then the only thing that should be uploaded here is a link, question mark. So yes, again, specifying before even just having the examples, what is visually expected in terms of that may be useful to include in terms of the criteria and examples. Okay. Week 4, week 5, going to do this a little bit more quickly. Objective here, again, I would love to be able to access it from the first page. Learners will explore various applications and digital platforms through peer observation and feedback reflection to enhance the delivery of blended learning. Quick thought in terms of how to better present the objective so you can see it more quickly. I know from experience that when you're creating a module, there's a way that you can specify the deadlines, and there's also a space to upload things. Let me quickly show what I mean. Sorry if this is off task. So for example, if I go into a calculus course, when I create a folder, I can adjust dates and I can also talk through description. Students will learn the review all units and the equation of a line tangent compared at a specific point. So what I'm doing here is I'm curious to see if this will show up on the first page, and it will. So this may be a better place to present the objective so that you can see week by week where that lives. Okay, that was all I wanted. Sorry, I'm back. Going back to the blend of learning. Great, so that way the objective can be shown with the weeks as well. The required reading, much of the same. Just playing with the links, checking quickly if they work. This is only to an entire page, so what do you want learners to get from this? Review the website for resources, only one of the only e-portfolio work. Okay, cool. That's what you want. Review the literature here. Here's an article, direct to PDF, love it. Read the follow-up article. This is recent. And it requires access. So how do we access that? Standard for thinking. Again, what are they looking for here? Are they reading for the entire thing? I just wrote on enough to see. And then I didn't review it. So maybe find a direct link to that article, or if it's not there, you may want to find a link yourself and then convert to Word documents. Access issues. Because this was copied from somewhere else, that's why these access issues are here. So copy them and make sure that the links are actually being embedded instead of copying the link to the blackboard. So the way we can tell that it's copied from the same place is that it's on the same tan background. So it's telling me that it's not being one by one individual copied. So be careful with how you're copying things into here. Required readings, videos, the links are here. We're trying to open a direct link version. But I assume that the rest will also work, and we'll do much of the same. Oh no, this is, yeah, so simple. So module 2, I think was the one that was strong for that. The rest need to be ensure that they're opening outside of school year, and there's an option for that. What is your digital application preference? Which ones do you have reservations you want to apply? So it's not really the same format as the other, and I like that one. So follow-up discussion with the questions. Digital application, here's the reflection, and let's see what the criteria is. So we select a partner that has different visual preferences, either responses to the discussion question. What is the time gap between when all of this is done? Is the discussion to be due earlier than the follow-up criteria? Because otherwise, what may happen is people wait to the last moment, so then they don't know which part to select. Select the time, all these things. Please submit a reflection post for your presentation for, and then upload a URL. Is the URL for the reflection post video or presentation, or is this a separate one?